It seems like everybody is talking about Boise real estate right now, but almost nobody is talking about what's about to happen next. Micron is investing billions of dollars right here in the Treasure Valley, and that is going to reshape where people should be buying over the next 3 to 5 years. The problem is most buyers are still making decisions based on what Boise looks like today, not where it's going, and that's how people end up in the wrong areas. Now, if we haven't met, I'm Brent Hansen. My team and I help people relocate and invest all over the Treasure Valley. And one of the biggest questions we're getting right now is this: where should I buy before this Micron expansion really hits? So I'm going to break it down in a way that actually helps you make a smart decision, because this is not just about buying a house. It's about positioning yourself ahead of the growth. First, we need to understand what this Micron expansion actually means for the valley. This is not just a few extra jobs. This is billions of dollars going into infrastructure, manufacturing, and long-term development. And what most people miss is this: it's not just Micron employees moving here. It's the suppliers, the contractors, the supporting businesses, and the people that come with all of that. And of course, that's what drives real estate demand. It creates a ripple effect that spreads outward from the source. Now, let's talk about the actual areas, because this is where most people either don't know or they just get it completely wrong. The first area is Southwest Boise. This is the most established option closest to Micron. You're already tied into Boise. You've got mature neighborhoods, access to downtown, trails, river access, and lifestyle. And even though it's mostly mature, a lot of development is still happening, but it's happening further on the east edge, specifically further east around areas like Harris Ranch and beyond. So what you're getting here is a mix of stability with some continued expansion on the outer edges. And this is not the get in early play. This is the buy into something proven that still has some room to grow. Now, if you move southwest of Micron campus, that's where CUNA comes into the conversation. This is one of the closest areas with actual room to expand. There is still land, there is still large scale building happening, and this is where a lot of pressure from Micron expansion is expected to push. So from a growth standpoint, CUNA is one of the most obvious areas to watch, but you need to be real about where it is today. It was a small town and now it's developing. You can see development everywhere, but it is still developing. You don't have the same level of amenities. You don't have the same infrastructure as Boise or Meridian yet. So you are making a little bit of a trade. You're giving up some conveniences today for potential upside tomorrow. Now, here is one that almost nobody is talking about, and it's South Boise. Now, this is not a guaranteed growth play yet. This is a speculative one, and it comes down to one thing: water. Now, if planning and zoning can solve the water issue in South Boise, this area has the potential to absolutely explode because of proximity, because of available land, and because it sits directly in the path of the expansion. But right now, this is still the question mark. So if you're looking in South Boise, you're not buying based on what it is today. You're buying based on what it could actually become in the future. So there is some speculation there, which means higher risk, but potentially way more upside. Now, here's the shift that you need to understand. Most buyers choose based on what feels comfortable today. They want the finished neighborhood, the established area, the place that already looks good. But real estate rewards the bold and people who understand direction, not just current condition. Believe it or not, I actually had a client recently who was set on buying in a more established part of Boise because it felt safer and it was just more mature. But once we mapped out where Micron sits and how growth is likely to move around it, they started to rethink that decision. Instead of buying in a fully built out area, they shifted slightly outside of that zone, and now they're positioned where development is moving towards them, not away from them. And in real estate, that is the difference between massive gains in equity. You're either buying into what already exists or what's about to happen. And both can be a good decision. You just need to be intentional about which one you're choosing. So here's how I want you to think about it. If you want stability, lifestyle, and something proven, Southeast Boise makes a lot of sense. If you want to be closer to the path of growth, CUNA becomes extremely interesting. And if you're willing to take on some risk for potential upside, South Boise is the wild card. But the key is aligning the area with your strategy, not just following what everyone else is doing. Because right now, a lot of buyers are chasing what already looks good instead of positioning for what's coming. So if you can see yourself getting into an area before it fully develops, before the traffic increases, before demand pushes prices up, that's where opportunity lives. Now, to be fair, these growth areas are not fully built out yet. You may deal with construction. You may not have every convenience right away. And for some people, that's just not worth it. But what most people don't realize is this. This is how people get ahead in markets like Boise. You're not always buying a home, you're buying into the direction of the city. Now, if that's the kind of move you want to make, reach out. We'll map this out based on what your situation, your timeline, and your goals actually look like, so you don't end up guessing your way into the wrong area. And if you want to see how Boise compares to Meridian and Eagle from a lifestyle standpoint, watch the video up next.